All right, mine's the Alabama Crimson Tide. Look, every time we seem to count out the Crimson Tide, we think they've made, maybe their last big move for a little while. They surprise us yet again. We've got outstanding news on the recruiting front out of Tuscaloosa that I think Alabama fans will be really excited about.
Yeah, Nick, Alabama is always making huge moves left and right. And I think it's like Tom Brady and Super Bowl rings. Their biggest move is the next one. So, Alabama fans, in the comment section below, I have an interesting question for you today. Let's talk linemen, the lifeblood of Alabama football. Who's your favorite offensive lineman in Alabama history? There are so many options to choose from. So many guys make it to the NFL level. Let us know, though, in the comment section below, who is your favorite Alabama offensive lineman of all time? But, Nick, let's get on into it. What is the next big move for Alabama?
Yeah, Miles, go ahead and throw it up on the screen. Let's just jump right into it. This is exciting stuff from the University of Alabama. This is from Hayes Fawcett on On3 Sports. Great follow on Twitter. A lot of great news. Highly recommend Hayes Fawcett, the great Hayes Fawcett, as we like to call him. But anyway, from the report, elite 2024 interior offensive lineman Casey Poe of Lyndale, Texas High announces commitment to Alabama Wednesday evening. The 6'5", 290-pounder chose the Crimson Tide over Texas Tech, Clemson, LSU, and Georgia. Poe ranks as the number 68 player in the On3 industry ranking that's in the country, a weighted average that utilizes all four major recruiting media companies. He also tabs in as the number one, the top guy, interior offensive lineman, and the number 13 player overall in the state of Texas. This dude is legit now. On3 ranks him higher than the industry as he ranks as the number 38 player nationally, the number one interior offensive lineman, and the number 9 player in Texas. So this guy's obviously really good no matter how you look at the ratings. The Lone Star State offensive lineman joins coach Nick Saban in the Crimson Tide's top 5 class in the 2024 team rankings. He is accompanied by 5-star quarterback Julian Sayin, 5-star athlete Jalen Mbakwe, and others. All right, Miles, one of the things we've heard a lot about this offseason is how great a job Alabama's top rival in the SEC, in my opinion, I think a lot of people agree with this, is Georgia in the SEC East. What an incredible, amazing job we hear about Georgia doing recruiting offensive linemen. They get all the best guys, the top guys. They're focusing all the resources on offensive linemen. Alabama, we've talked about them going a little bit different direction at times, going quarterback, DB, some other positions, a little more skill positions. But here we go, Miles. The weight of Nick Saban, the recruiting prowess at Alabama, again, comes out. They get the number one interior offensive line, the number one guard or center in the country for the 2024 class. They get him to commit to Alabama over Georgia. I think this is a huge win for the Crimson Tide based on that fact alone, but there's a lot of great things to like about this move, Mize. I'll throw it over to you now. What do you think of this addition, just everything that Casey Poe could potentially bring?
Yeah, Nick, this guy just seems like a true mauler to me. This guy is an absolute beast, and I know he has a lot of explosive ability, a lot of drive in him. This guy has shown it throughout his high school career, whether you're talking about on the football field or shot put in discus field. They say he can throw the shot bit beyond 50 feet, which is extremely impressive to me. A guy can do that. That just shows he has a lot of drive and push in his hands. I think this guy is going to be the next great Alabama offensive lineman, setting up nicely to be an NFL level guy. I think that he's going to come in here and just, it's not even really too exciting anymore, Nick, because it's business as usual. Alabama, another great offensive lineman, another great offensive line. Keep the quarterback safe. That's the status quo now at Alabama. But this guy, I don't know. It just seems like there's something a little bit special about him. I think they talk in another story over on On3 just about how this guy came to Alabama's camp. And when he came in, they said it was like a parting of the Red Sea. Everyone kind of stepped out of his way as he walks through. He just has a very imposing presence. So I love a guy like that. True mauler on the offensive line. I think he can bring a lot of feisty and toughness to this team. And I think it's going to be a great add for Alabama.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the things people have to understand about the offensive line position is that when you're scouting guys coming out of high school, one of the things I always try to focus on is avoid the guys that are already are monsters, right? I don't like looking at the guys that are already 350 pounds in high school because they're kind of limited, right? Because if you're that big, if you're 6'5", 350, and you're going up against a 170-pound high school kid, you're going to look great. You're going to look awesome. You're going to look fantastic. It's a little different when you transition over to the SEC. I like a little bit smaller guys, and I use the word smaller loosely here. The guy's 290 pounds, so he's obviously a big dude, but a guy that actually learns how to be that has to learn how to be a good offensive lineman, how to use his hands, how to use his feet, how to understand angles, a guy who just isn't 150 pounds bigger than everybody else at the high school level. I love this kind of recruit for that reason, because he had to understand how to become an elite offensive lineman, and he's going to have the ability to put on 30 pounds of good weight at Alabama in short order under their strength and conditioning program. I think this guy has the potential to be a first round, second round pick in the NFL draft in 3-4 years or so. I think he is all SEC written all over him, just because he's such a good fundamental player with the potential to get bigger and stronger. I think this is a great get for Alabama.